We talked about last year's loss a lot, about how that felt, and obviously you never want to feel like that again, so it's a really good motivating factor.
USC claims the 2018 title.
I think what the loss at USC did last year was it lit a fire for a lot of people. It's never a good feeling to lose a national championship, and my record against USC has not been the best as well, so that's always a big motivating factor for me. Being at Stanford and with the kind of legacy that has been set by the women that have come before us, a big thing is we want to be in that national championship game, and we obviously want to win that national championship. I think when we come together at the start of the season, it's kind of an unspoken thing. Everyone is here because they want to win a national championship, but then we also have a lot of conversations as a team with our coaches about exactly how tactically and strategically that is going to happen.
Yeah, we definitely come in with the focus of winning a national championship. I remember, I think the first day of school, or maybe right even before school started, we went to Jimmy's and JT talked about exactly where we wanted to be. I forget the date of the championship, but he had it all down, and saying that we wanted to be in Avery on that day, hopefully at the top of the podium.
Just want to welcome everyone back, and those who are new, welcome to Stanford Women's Water Polo. We're really excited about this season. The amazing thing about this, the journey we're about to embark on, is going to take us all over.
I think a lot of it was that we didn't feel like we were bound by the roles that we did last year. If you look at, Fish scored a lot of goals last year, but I think that what allowed her to score even more this year was that we had a lot of people stepping up into those defender roles, Hannah Schaub, Chloe especially was huge. And so, if she doesn't have to guard as much, then that's more time she can spend focusing on offense, and she's working her butt off on every counter you can see, trying to get up and getting double or triple teamed along the way.
I think in the fall especially, it's just really a lot about team cohesion and getting that chemistry in the water as well as out of the water, integrating with the new freshmen and the new team and people getting comfortable with their roles. I think we have a bunch of girls who are super quick, and we play a fun, fast-paced game with lots of counter, which is super fun in the moment, and just a lot of people who are really good at attacking and creating openings for themselves while also playing within the team and connecting with each other.
I think collectively as a team, we have a lot of people who have played senior team water polo, junior team, who have been with this program for a couple years and who have had a lot of that experience, but we also have so much more than just this season to rely on in terms of playing those really close games and being able to execute. I think when we initially heard that we were going to Oko Coliseum, we were like, oh, okay, cool. Don't know much about it, but it'll probably be a good time, these things usually are. And then we got there, and just all of the little monuments, or the way that they've built the history into the construction of the stadium itself, it's gritty, and that kind of became a thing for us throughout the postseason, being gritty and even if you aren't necessarily the favorite or the team that everyone thinks is going to win, just finding a way to get the job done.
In America, we are the last facility that has both the NFL and MLB in it.
I think it's super fun, and there's always this big buildup of where we're going to go. And I think it's just super cool to see the way other teams go about the way they compete in championships and how it's very similar to us, but also different in their own traditions at the same time, which makes every team unique. So I think that's always my favorite part, is just hearing and being led into the team's different traditions.
Play ball! Time for dinner, time for dinner.
Yes, sure, I'm not in the pool, I'm not playing the game, but I am who I am today because I was a water polo player. And when I walk into a big meeting with a CEO in a fancy conference room, I'm a water polo player. Just know that the work you're doing today will be foundational in your success in life and who you are as people. And most importantly, give you that lifetime of swag.
I thought her speech at the NCAA banquet was great, especially as a senior who will not be continuing my water polo career after this very seriously. I think that was really an important thing that like people needed to hear, and I think she was the person to deliver the message that like even though like your time as like a water polo player might be over like on paper or what have you, like the sport still is an amazing way to build a lot of different character traits that will serve you well in like whatever field you end up going into.
I thought it was super cool, and I think that she's absolutely correct in that water polo sets you up for success in the future. And it's true, a lot of people won't be competing on the national team or higher levels, and it's easy to think that water polo is over, but I definitely think that, like she said, like the teamwork and the time management skills and all the stuff that you have to do under time pressure, I obviously don't know, but I think that it would be very relatable and translatable to the real world, so I thought that was a really cool message.
We're set to begin things. It's the Cardinal in the red caps and Pacific in the white. Class across the way, Harbillis score it. Aria Fisher moving in, puts on the brakes and buries it, 2-0 Stanford. Got Class inside Mackenzie Fisher, easy does it, 3-0 Stanford. Aria Fisher, 4-0 Stanford, Fisher to Fisher. Right down Main Street, another Aria Fisher, a hat trick.
I think being able to play at home was definitely an advantage. I think it's always fun to play in front of a home crowd, and there's always excitement around a national championship, but when you get to do it in front of all of your friends, I think the stakes are definitely a little higher, and also there's just a lot more excitement. So I thought it was really fun.
I like playing at Avery. It's obviously a beautiful pool, and it's really fun to try to bring a crowd out and to have like this section filled with students and friends and things like that. And you can hear like when people score goals or things like that. It's really fun. I think the postseason in general is like special no matter where you play it, but having it at home was just like something extra.
Good evening, welcome to the Avery Aquatic Center, Stanford University, the scene for the NCAA Women's Water Polo National Championship Tournament. Semifinal action continues with UCLA taking on host Stanford, and we are underway in this second semifinal. Berggren up big on her legs. Lefty takes a look, not there. Mackenzie Fisher moving in, fakes. Aria Fisher takes a look. There it is. Power play goal for Stanford.
Being a center is a thankless task, and I'm thankful every day that like I don't have to do it. Because she just like gets beat up in there.
Berggren, now Class around the way. Here's Wiley. Got Class off the post and in! She rips it from outside 5 meters.
Something that she's done a great job of this year is kind of keeping her cool and really being able to execute on the opportunities that she does earn for herself. So that was like a common theme versus Pacific and UCLA. Also, the way that she plays is just fearless. Like, she's not afraid of anyone. I'm sure most people are very scared of her. But yeah, she's someone who brings like a lot of fire and a lot of energy to our team, and it's easy to see.
Aria Fisher scoring, cross cage. She'll shoot and score. We're tied at 6. Aria Fisher.
I think Aria and I take very different approaches. She's definitely all passion and fire, which is super good in the moment, and then I'm more calm and poised, so I think that it's a very nice balance.
Cat Class gives a look. Berggren poured inside, scored in close. From the outside, Neuschel gives a look. And score another for Stanford. 2 in a row to start in overtime.
We talk about in the postseason, a win's a win. It doesn't matter anything for seeding or like for what other teams think of you. Like, you've just ended someone's season and you get to move on to the final.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Stanford University, the Avery Aquatic Center for the 2019 NCAA Women's Water Polo Championship. The Stanford Cardinal, the 2 seed, taking on the number 1 seed and defending champions, the USC Trojans. At the Avery Aquatic Center in a matchup that has come to define women's college water polo.
We are battle tested like no other team, in addition to the experience you have going in.
We are underway in the 2019 NCAA Women's Final. Fisher to tie, puts it home.
It was just really fun, and I never felt like any one team was had it in the bag, which is always a little bit more exciting. I'm sure the fans felt that way too, but it's just super fun to play back and forth games like that.
Yeah, I had the ball on the perimeter, and I saw her like going in from 5, and I didn't know who she was guarding, but I was like, she's close enough to the goal that like, I'm just gonna throw it. And then, yeah, somehow she whipped off that backhand, and I was so amped. I remember swimming over to her after, like, or saying, I was like, let's go, Hannah, like, that's it. Yeah, but I think that really fired everyone up.
Inside, Shab, good position, the backhand, slides home. Aria Fisher connecting. Timer to 4, on her legs, the low skimmer is in. Mackenzie Fisher answers the call. 5-on-6 has been strong. That's a little too aggressive there from Weber, and Nuschel wasting no time, ripping the net from outside.
I honestly didn't really have time to process that one because she got it so quickly and just like took the shot like a badass. Like there's like no doubt that she was gonna score it, basically in her mind probably. So I was like processing as I was seeing it happen, and then it went in off the back of the goalie's head or arm or whatever, and I was very, very excited. But there wasn't like a, oh no, like don't shoot it or anything. Like she stepped up big in that moment for sure.
I think it was pretty early in the shot clock, and I don't think I expected her to shoot, and I don't think Amanda in the goal expected her to shoot it either.
Megan loads it up, off the post, that's game! Stanford wins the NCAA title! Water polo champs in 2019, the Cardinal reigns supreme!
I honestly think it's different for everyone, and I think it's a combination of both for me. I think it's largely relief, to be honest, which I know people don't like to hear, but when that final buzzer blew, I was like, okay, thank you. And then I think after the relief comes the elatement and the excitement and the happiness and just being with your teammates and thinking about everything that's gone into the season.
I specifically don't feel like I have a legacy. It feels like I've contributed to something that like existed long before I got here and will hopefully continue to grow long after I leave. So just in terms of like always wanting to be in that national championship game, wanting to win championships to bring back to Stanford, like basically people just showing up every day, wanting to work hard, wanting to get a little bit better, wanting to have fun with people who have the same goals as them. Like that's really what I got out of my 4 years here, and I hope that that's something that people can continue to perpetuate after I leave.
Yeah, a round of applause.
Hold on to this one.
And now, 2019 National Championship.
I think it's pretty incredible just looking at the women that have come out of the Stanford water polo program, like the big names that you know and also the names that you might not know, like Heather, and just all these incredible athletes that have come before us and kind of set the stage and the expectation and like the values of the team essentially. It's pretty cool to join them and also hopefully make them proud at the same time.
Yeah, the cliche is defense wins championships, and again, going back to it, I was really surprised by how many opportunities both teams missed in the fourth quarter. At one point I was like, okay, like we got to get an insurance goal, like I really don't want them to score and be able to like tie this thing up and be super amped. And then like we just rode out however many minutes it was. I don't know, like after Ryan's goal, like it's like maybe the last 5 minutes or something, and I was like, all right, we're just gonna play defense. That's like, we may not be able to put the ball in the goal, but we can stop them from scoring, and yeah, that's how it ended up.